Cricket has always been defined by eras. Every generation witnesses a golden phase, dominated by a few extraordinary players. In the early 2000s, the game revolved around legends like Sachin Tendulkar, Ricky Ponting, and Jacques Kallis. But as they retired, a new era began, one that introduced the world to the Fab Four. Virat Kohli, Steve Smith, Joe Root, and Kane Williamson became the modern faces of batting greatness. Their styles were different, but together they redefined how cricket was played and admired. This group wasn't just about scoring runs. It became a symbol of batting supremacy in modern cricket. Kohli's aggression, Smith's unorthodox brilliance, Root's classical elegance, and Williamson's calm resilience formed a legacy across formats and conditions. For almost a decade, discussions about cricket felt incomplete without mentioning these four. Their records weren't just numbers. They were an inspiration to an entire generation of fans and young cricketers. From 2014 to 2019, Test cricket revolved almost entirely around them. Each averaged well above 50, a benchmark of true greatness. Whenever one raised the bar, the others responded. It wasn't just rivalry, it was motivation, pushing each other towards new heights. They didn't just dominate cricket, they helped define their team's identity. In many ways, they were the face of world cricket itself. But time never stands still. Today, while the Fab Four still exist, their dominance is no longer the same. Joe Root and Kane Williamson continue to score heavily in tests. Root with his twin centuries at Lord's and a double hundred against Pakistan. Williamson with his calm consistency despite injuries. But for Virat Kohli and Steve Smith, the last few years have been more challenging. Root's 3 centuries in just a handful of matches surpassed Kohli's entire test tally from 2020 to 2025. And Smith, once compared to Don Bradman for his unbelievable average, has also faced decline as bowlers found new strategies against him. The story of the Fab Four traces back to 2014, when New Zealand legend Martin Crowe coined the term. He saw in these young batsmen the same aura that the Beatles, the original Fab Four, once carried in music. At that time, Kohli, Smith, and Williamson had all played in the same Under-19 World Cup, while Root was only 2 years younger, arriving shortly after. Crowe's prediction was prophetic. By 2016, the cricketing world had no doubts. The Fab Four were real, and they were redefining batting standards. Individually, each had unforgettable peaks. Kohli's run machine era from 2016 to 2019 saw him pile up over 4,000 test runs at an average of nearly 67, including multiple double centuries. Steve Smith, before the pandemic, was untouchable with over 7,200 runs at an average second only to Don Bradman. Williamson, after 2020, set new standards with a remarkable average close to 68. And Joe Root, once considered the most underrated of the group, emerged as the leader of test batting post-pandemic with over 5,000 runs since 2020. Their yearly journeys told different stories. In 2014, Kohli's Adelaide Masterclass signaled his rise, while Smith responded with an 81 average season. Williamson built his reputation with classy knocks, and Root was England's rising star. By 2015, Smith was the face of Australia. Williamson dominated tests with a 90 average year. Root anchored England, and Kohli delivered under pressure in the World Cup. 2016 marked the peak. Kohli scored everywhere. Root produced career-defining knocks. Williamson flourished in ODIs, and Smith kept piling runs. 2017 saw Kohli and Smith both averaging over 75 in tests, while Root and Williamson quietly maintained their brilliance. Then came 2018, the year of highs and lows. Kohli's dominance in England, Smith's ban in the sandpaper scandal, Williamson's class, and Root's consistency. By 2019, they were not just players. They were cricket's golden standard. But after 2020, the cracks began to appear. Kohli, once unstoppable, went through a century drought in tests. His numbers fell sharply, and technical flaws were exposed, particularly against swinging deliveries outside off-stump. Leadership fatigue also played a role. After stepping down as captain in 2022, his aura seemed diminished. Steve Smith, too, faced struggles. Bowlers set leg-side traps and used short balls to disrupt his rhythm. Though he staged comebacks with big hundreds, his invincible image faded. On the other hand, Joe Root turned his underdog tag into dominance. Between 2020 and 2024, he scored more runs and centuries than any of his peers, becoming England's all-time highest run scorer in tests. Kane Williamson, despite injuries and stepping down from captaincy, remained New Zealand's most reliable batter, guiding them to a World Test Championship triumph in 2021 and maintaining consistency that proved his greatness. The bigger question is, has the Fab Four era truly ended? Their numbers suggest a shift. Kohli's struggles, Smith's inconsistency, Root's dominance, and Williamson's steady brilliance show that while they're still relevant, their once unshakable aura has weakened. Meanwhile, new stars are rising. Players like Harry Brook, Rachin Ravindra, and Yashasvi Jaiswal are making headlines. Fans are now wondering, could a new Fab Four be on the horizon? And yet, eras in cricket are not easily forgotten. Kohli's aggression, Smith's resilience, Root's elegance, and Williamson's composure have already carved a permanent place in cricket's history. Their golden years may no longer dominate, but their legacy will live on forever. For those who witnessed it, the Fab Four era wasn't just about records. It was about a feeling, an inspiration, a benchmark of greatness. And even as the game moves forward, that story will always remain alive in the hearts of cricket fans worldwide.